Alright, it's recording, and I have a pause button. Hey-hoo! Alright, so that is Antix26. Trixie. I'm very careful with Trixie. The good thing is here that when you boot in Antix, you have the choices between the three non-system D, like run init and RC unit init. I think it is in sys5 init. I usually use sys5 init. I chose it here too. And I had the 5.1 kernel, but I changed it to the LTS kernel 6.1. Yeah, there's Rust in it, but in experimental and it's not doing anything really, so I like it very much that it is not rusty. And 5.1, I thought I had a problem because you know what I always do, so I'm not just firing it up and say, oh yeah, look, it has a LibreOffice here, has an XFCE terminal here, has that and that. Well, what does that help you? So you have to personalize this for you, that you can see where do you have trouble. So things have changed a little bit. Like now they have that, I don't know if they had the control center before, but before you could just find their software installer and everything. Now you find everything in the control center, which makes it a little bit less overwhelming and more practical, I think. I think they had it before, but well. So, package installer is theirs. Manage packages, that should be... Oh no, Debian, that system, Synaptics. So, their package installer here. So, I tried to install HPLIP here. And first with the kernel 5.1. See, I tried, did not work. Maybe it's because of the extras. I don't know what would be the extras. I couldn't install it. It always comes an error message, check the console. There was no console. And then I changed to kernel 6.1, which was nice. They actually put the NVIDIA modules on too, in the same case, which is very, very nice. And it should still be this 5 in it. Oh, here we go. Terminal. So, no. That's what I like on. So you see, that's just how it is. Yeah, but it says 5 in it. Very nice. So I installed on terminal then HPLIP. So I mean, I think everybody knows, right? I do it anyway. So I use sudo apt install HPLIP. So I installed root. When you install with sudo apt install hplimit, they will ask you 2 times for root and root password. If you haven't set this up, and you will say, oh, I don't have root password, so it will not work, right? By the way, the installation here, like that, or is it? So you have to most likely install it then as not with sudo, sondern here HP setup. So you install it. Where is it? It's gone. So, look at me. I just had it. So that will install HPLIP, and this is pretty good. And if you do it right away as root, I don't know if you can fire up HP setup, because there's no menu entry from the HP thing, yeah, because it's with GUI-less. But if you use this, it fires this up. You get that window. I installed mine already, so you search for yours, and when you click further, it wants to download the driver for your printer, yeah, HP printer, and it will ask for a root password to install them. So if you don't have one, you can just do, if you don't have a root, you go sudo, and then you go password, and then root. Oh, what is it? I better look before I... Let's have a look. Change... My brain is frozen. Change password. Linux. Terminal. I think it's password. Password. What is password? Oh yeah. Okay. Oh dear me. How embarrassing is that, right? So not a shame. Pass. So it's asking you for the password. That's how you, in case you haven't set up root. That's how you do it, and then you can just use your brand new root password and add it into the HP setup menu, because it will ask you one time for downloading and installing the driver for a root password, and you got to use it. And then you will be asked when you add this printer to your whatever, right? When it comes HPLIP that printer, yes, and blah blah blah. So they will ask for, you have to put in root and then your root password, otherwise you don't have the permission to do this, right? You get that error then. So we don't want that error. So that's how you help yourself. In case you get you just didn't install root, you just went with no root password, then usually you don't have a root password. You have a sudo account, and that's how you help yourself out, right? So sudo space pass with double S, WD, then space root, and then they ask for your root password. You give a new root password, and then it's all good. It's running just fine. So that was the first obstacle I had. So as I said, brand new install, that was the first thing I did. Not the first one. I installed OBS, that worked nicely. There are on the drivers, which are here too, right? Driver install, and installed that too. Very nice. And it has the HVEng driver, so that is also very nice. By the way, do I have HTOP here? Because there's a little difference between Conky and HTOP. Yeah, there it is. So, oink. So what does it say here? A little bit bad to read. 1.8, and here it will say 1.78. Yeah, not that much the difference here. However, oh yeah, and here it says init. It says 5 init. See? There it says. That's pretty nice, pretty neat. Oh yeah, so Conky gives you a little bit more information. That's, yeah, neat. ZRAM swap did not work at the installation, so it will kick the bucket when you do it. At least I had it. I couldn't make it. The first time it froze. The second time told me it's dying. Can't do it. So I had to say 3 attempts. Then I just left the ZRAM away and good is. And yeah, I can do without, I guess. And everything else you find here. So system, because it's bare bone. It's that I like IceWM, but this is that IceWM, I think. And they have tons of tools, which are nice to have too. One thing to remember is if you go here in preferences, because you will figure out when you come back to Conscious that they put the panel on the bottom, which is an atrocity. However, so you go in preferences taskbar, put it to the top, and then usually it clicks away, it goes away when you did this, and you go back in application, no, not application, settings, preferences, and then you save the modification. That's how it will remember it. Yeah, you always, when you change something, you have to save it. And you have to play around. You can add stuff here too, because they have menus here, maintenance services here. If you don't want to play around with this 5 in it, you can choose here. You just open this up, and then you have these kind of things here. And boot init, you have them here. And somewhere, I don't know where that was, you could just start and fire them up, but however, this is all pretty easy, so it's not too bad. Antix auto start. Okay, yeah. So as a new beginner or somebody who just gets his feet wet with something else than KDE, XFCE, and all this stuff, be carefully what you change here. That's a warning, right? Menu editor. Here it is, you see. Change the application menu, change personal menu. So you can choose application menu, show items in the application menu, hide the items, show. So if you want to add some, where is it? There it is. So you can click on it, and then you can press OK, and it should add it. And I think this is the application menu here somewhere, or I don't know. And that should be, the other menu. I think so. You have to play around. You have to find something unique and put it in. And then if you find it here or here, then you know where it is. I like the right-click thing. That's what I liked on IceWM. Once you have this part set up with the most used application, which is absolutely easy in IceWM, I don't want to attempt around here with my editing it on my own. I want to use their controls for that, right? Because, as I said, I try to use the ecosystem the distro is providing, and to me this is part of the ecosystem, how they set everything up and configure everything. User manager, system repair, boot repair, ISO snapshot, system backup. I haven't had a look at this yet. That is, of course, Synaptic. Antix updater, that should get active one day. I just installed it, so it might not do anything yet. disk manager, disk format USB. That's pretty nice too, of course. That should be maybe gparted. Synchronized directory. I have no clue what that is. Maybe something like sync. However, so lots of things to explore. I just wanted to show the first trouble I had with Antix26. Looks different, feels good, and as with any distro which is different, you know, if you do use a different Windows manager, and especially when they're minimalistic, you have to get used to it. Once you figure it out, it's so easy. Like I used OpenMandriva. I downloaded at this time the LXQT version, and I installed IceWM, and I used it only for maybe 3 weeks. And I was so used to right-click. You can't imagine how quick you get used to all these things. I think my dog was just barking, so I have to let her go out. Otherwise I get a mess. She knows how to... No, she's a really good girl. She would not do any bad stuff here. She is very, very nice. So, however, that is that. I like it. They don't have VirtualBox in their repertoire here. So if you go in the control center again and you look into their software, package installer, there is no VirtualBox. So I don't know if there is VirtualBox. Oh, look at that. I lied to you. So they have VirtualBox. That is pretty neat. And they have Word Manager for people who like super big virtual drives. Having said this, I might try that out and see if they have it worked out like Android has, that because they're using Qemu too. And they don't have these bloated images when you use a QCore2 image file. But anything else I had from Debian everywhere was the same. All super big, blown up virtual drives. While VirtualBox, if you, as I said, this if you give a VirtualBox 250 gigabyte, you install Antix, you might have, I don't know, 12 gigabyte used. So the VirtualBox virtual hard drive is only these 15 gigabyte. All right. All right, that is that. I think I have, that's pretty neat. That's very nice. That's good to know. So the next thing I'm going to install, I'm not doing it now because I have, I've got things to do. I will do that later, and I'll upload it then maybe on Monday or maybe even tomorrow. I don't know. I will make a short video to see how to install, for example, private internet access. That's what I use as a VPN. And I'd installed it. I think I tried to install it on Gentoo, and even though private internet access supports all the other init system, if you don't like systemd, and I do not like systemd, and now the truth comes out why you shouldn't like it, but it's your choice. You can have a different opinion. In this channel, rule number 1, I'm always right. Rule number 2, if that gets questioned, rule number 1 will be enforced. So you still have the right of your own opinion. It's just when it's different to mine that makes you wrong, but I can live with that. Yeah. However, I mean, the truth comes out. Wait for Wayland and wait for Rust. Because these monkeys in Davos, they said, oh, they shouldn't have computers. And Duran, we are totally under attack. And yeah, Linux got invaded already a long time. I saw that long time, and I rang the alarm bell when Microsoft tried to get in the kernel department from Linux, and they said, oh, don't do it. So, however, I hope, I mean, here, for example, if they give you the chance to choose your kernel, that is pretty neat. That's the most important thing. There shouldn't be any Rust in it until it's really, really ripe to work in a reliable system. Yeah, so I'm against unreliable stuff. And systemd, there is no, for me, real reason to run it. Yes, they will always have reasons. It's like when people say to protect the children, right? Is it really that way? If you start questioning this and looking into it, when everything gets exposed from these kids, is that really to protect them? Not really. Put everybody in danger. 3 billion reasons with ID merit, right? 3 billion accounts hacked. 3 billion accounts hacked. Not 3 million. No. 3 billion. So I've got 3 billion reasons why you should never upload any of your documents. Nothing. The government can have it. That's not a big deal. You got your passport from the government, right? So they employ the government, they're civil servants, they can have it, they can have a look, sure. But they have to come by. I'm not uploading it, no way. Then I get scammed, yeah, a data broker, hacker, and scammer, and all of a sudden I'm exposed, identity 7, it's not possible, that cannot be. So these are very good reasons why you can't do that, right? Alright, so I will play around with their desktop here and with all these things, but not now, because I've got things to do. And then I have to walk my little dog. And then the next thing I'm trying to do here is, because with my Calculate Linux I had this trouble with private internet access, because it's a batch file, right? So now I want to see if that works here. I would think it works, why should it not, right? But let's have a look, let's see, but not now. I don't have the time yet. And then you can come for another video and this doesn't take too long. The good thing is I don't do AI stuff, absolutely not. And I have no interest in AI stuff. That has to get cleaned up, right? And yeah, I hope it's a little bit entertaining. It makes you switch off from off from all the bad things happening surrounding us. You know, these bad things happen either way. So the best thing is enjoy your day, enjoy every hour, go for a walk, have nature, play with your computer, see your friends, have a cup of coffee, change subjects to private stuff, good stuff. Yeah, leave all that politics by side. So there's really not much you can do anyway. This is all propaganda machine. Because I figured that out when I was a little boy. You know, I was so impressed. We had a puppet show there. And there was a guy behind a big thing. You know, there were two puppets. There was a bad guy and a good guy. Yeah, the policeman and the robber. And I dared to look behind. Did you know that there was one puppet player? Yeah, I couldn't believe it. There was one puppet player. And he played the bad guy, the robber. And he played the policeman. And when I stood from the front, I really thought these are two different characters. Look at that. One is a good guy, the other one is a bad guy. No, this was one puppet player. Well, guys, I'll leave you with that for today. The next video is coming about private internet access. Because that just shows how, let's say, Antix would handle this install script, right? With sys5 in it. Do you really got problems with 5 in it? I don't think so. I don't expect any trouble like that. Gentoo is a different issue, because it is a different operating system. It's very different, right? Lots of source code and things and that. But let's see how that here goes. That should just work fine. I don't expect any trouble. And with HPLIP, yeah, for some reason their script didn't work. Don't know why. Doesn't matter. You can go in a terminal and install it there. And as I said, in worst cases, if I can't get anything what I really, really want, then I use Flatpaks, for example. That's a good idea, right? So it's like in Gentoo I use what's it called? eSelect, yeah, the layman substitute. And here Debian should have almost really, really, really everything. And so I take as much as I can from their repositories. And in worst cases, yes, when I can't get something or it is giving me trouble, then I would go for Flatpaks. Alright, that is that, and I will run the installer when I switch that video off, and this is right now. And I should install VirtualBox too, right? Because then I can upload it all from here, the video. Okie dokie, guys, so that will take a moment. It's 1300 here right now, and I will upload it in the afternoon. And I'm going to make a video, a quick one, for installation of private internet access, and it's more about the script, how it gets handled, and I think it will be handled just fine. Okie dokie, guys, I know that is mean, but that's it. Okay, guys, have a nice weekend, and hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.